Have you ever made a promise and one that felt so heavy, so important, that breaking it would change your life forever? Tonight, I will tell you a story of love, of friendship, of trust, and of a single promise made under the falling rain that would test the heart of a young man. This is a promise in the rain. But before we begin, if you love learning English through stories, please support this channel by clicking subscribe right now. Your support helps us share more stories like this with the world. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss the next tale. The rain was falling hard that evening. The streets were empty, shining with the reflection of yellow streetlights. People rushed home hiding under umbrellas. But one boy did not run. His name was Daniel. He stood at the edge of the old bridge without an umbrella, letting the cold rain soak his clothes. His hands were trembling, not from the weather, but from the weight of a promise he had made. Beside him stood Anna, his childhood friend. Her dark hair was dripping wet, her eyes full of worry. "Daniel," she whispered, "do you really mean it? You will keep this promise, and no matter what happens?" Daniel looked at her, his heart racing. "I swear, Anna," he said, raising his hand as the thunder rolled above them. "I will never break this promise, not even if the whole world turns against me." The storm grew louder. Anna closed her eyes as if sealing his words in her memory forever. And so, on that rainy night, a promise was born. A promise that would change both of their lives in ways they could never imagine. Let me take you back to where it all began, years before that night on the bridge, to a small town where Daniel and Anna's story first started. Daniel and Anna grew up in the same small town. It was the kind of town where everyone knew each other, where the smell of fresh bread from the bakery filled the morning air, and where children played in the dusty streets until the sun went down. Daniel was a quiet boy, curious, thoughtful, always carrying a book under his arm. He wasn't the strongest nor the fastest, but he had a kind heart. Anna was different, bold, full of energy, and never afraid to speak her mind. If Daniel was the calm river, Anna was the rushing waterfall. The two were inseparable. They would climb trees together, race down the hills, and sit by the lake, watching the sunset while talking about their dreams. Anna dreamed of traveling the world. She wanted to see big cities, to feel the excitement of life beyond their small town. Daniel, on the other hand, wanted something simpler. He dreamed of becoming a teacher, sharing stories and knowledge with children, helping them find their place in the world. They were different, but that difference brought them closer. Where Anna was fearless, Daniel was careful. Where Daniel was patient, Anna was bold. Together they balanced each other. One summer afternoon, when they were just 12 years old, something happened that tested their friendship. The children of the town were playing a game near the river. Everyone dared each other to jump across the slippery stones. It was dangerous, but exciting. Anna, full of courage, stepped forward. "I'll do it first," she shouted. The crowd cheered. She leaped from stone to stone, her arms stretched wide, laughter echoing through the air. But then, her foot slipped. She screamed as she lost her balance. Daniel, without thinking, jumped forward. He grabbed her hand just in time, pulling her back to safety. Both of them fell hard onto the muddy ground, their clothes soaked, their hearts racing. The other children gasped, then burst into applause, but Anna didn't care. She looked at Daniel with wide eyes. "You saved me," she whispered. Daniel smiled shyly, brushing the mud from his face. "I couldn't let you fall, Anna. I never will." That day, something unspoken grew between them. A trust deeper than words. A bond that would one day lead to the promise they made in the rain. And dear listener, if you are enjoying this story so far, remember you can support this channel by subscribing. Every time you subscribe, you help us continue sharing stories that make learning English easier and more fun. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. As the years passed, Daniel and Anna grew older, but their friendship never faded. In high school, Daniel became known as the boy who always helped others. If a classmate didn't understand a lesson, Daniel stayed after school to explain. If someone was bullied, Daniel stood by them, even if it meant being teased himself. Anna, meanwhile, was the girl who dreamed big. She joined every club, every activity, and often got into trouble for breaking the rules. Yet no matter what happened, she always came back to Daniel. He was her safe place, her anchor. But not everyone was happy about their friendship. Some classmates whispered that Anna was too bold for a quiet boy like Daniel. Others teased Daniel, saying he was too weak for a girl like Anna. Did Daniel care? No, because deep inside, he knew something the others didn't. He knew that Anna believed in him more than anyone else. And Anna? She would always tell people, "Daniel is my best friend, and one day he will prove to the world how strong he really is." But life has a way of testing every bond, and soon Daniel and Anna would face challenges far greater than childhood games or school gossip. Challenges that would push their friendship to its very limits and prepare them for that rainy night when a single promise would be made. Time passed. Daniel and Anna were no longer children. They were now young adults standing on the edge of the future. Anna had received news that filled her with excitement. She was offered a scholarship to study in the city. It was her dream come true, the chance to finally leave the small town and chase the life she had always imagined. But for Daniel, the news felt like a shadow over his heart. He wanted to be happy for her. He truly did. But deep inside, he was afraid of losing the person who had always been by his side. One evening, as the sun set over the quiet lake where they used to play as children, Daniel finally asked, "Anna, when you leave, will you forget me?" Anna laughed softly, shaking her head. "Forget you? Daniel, you've been part of my life since I could walk. I'll never forget you. In fact, you'll be the one I'll write to first, every single week. I promise." Daniel smiled, but his heart was not at ease. Because promises, sometimes, are easy to make, but hard to keep. New obstacles. As Anna prepared to leave, rumors began to spread around town. Some said she would never come back. Others whispered that she would find new friends, a new life, and that Daniel would be left behind, forgotten. Daniel tried to ignore them, but the words cut deep. Then, one rainy afternoon, as he walked past the town cafe, he overheard two men talking. "That Anna girl, she's going to do great things, but that boy, Daniel, he'll just stay here, stuck. She'll outgrow him." Daniel froze. He wanted to shout, to defend himself, but instead he lowered his head and walked away. That night, for the first time, he doubted himself. What if they were right? What if Anna did forget him? Not long after, Daniel and Anna met on the old bridge, the place where many of their childhood memories lived. But instead of laughter, there was tension in the air. Daniel's voice trembled as he spoke. "Anna, what if you go to the city and everything changes?" Anna frowned. "Why are you saying this, Daniel? Don't you trust me?" "I do," Daniel insisted. "But the world out there is bigger than this town, bigger than me. What if you realize I'm not enough?" The rain began to fall, light at first, then heavier. Anna stepped closer, her eyes burning with determination. "Daniel, listen to me. I don't care what anyone says. You are enough. You've always been enough. And no matter where I go, I will never leave you behind." Daniel looked at her, the rain dripping from his hair, his heart pounding with both fear and hope. "Then promise me, Anna," he whispered. "Promise me that no matter what happens, you won't forget me. Promise me that you'll come back." Anna raised her hand, pressing it against his. "I promise, Daniel, and I need you to promise me something too." "What is it?" he asked softly. "Promise me that you'll keep believing in yourself, that you won't let the world break you. Promise me you'll keep going, even if I'm far away." Daniel swallowed hard, his throat tight. "I promise." And there, under the pouring rain, with thunder rolling in the distance, two promises were made, promises that would soon be tested more than either of them could ever imagine. And my friend, if this story is touching your heart, don't forget, Subscribe to this channel so you never miss the next chapter. Your support means the world, and it helps us keep sharing stories that make English learning a journey full of emotion and adventure. The night of the promise was only the beginning, because once Anna left for the city, everything began to change. Letters, phone calls, silence, temptation, and the question that would haunt Daniel forever. Would Anna keep her promise in the rain? Or would the storm wash it away? The day finally came. Anna stood at the bus station, suitcase in hand, eyes shining with both excitement and sorrow. Daniel stood beside her, his heart heavy. "This is it," Anna said, trying to smile. Daniel nodded. His throat was dry, but he forced the words out. "Remember the promise, Anna." She placed her hand on his. "I will never forget." The bus doors opened. Anna stepped inside, waving through the window as the bus pulled away. Daniel stood in the rain, watching until the bus disappeared from sight. And just like that, the town felt emptier than ever. At first, everything went as promised. Anna wrote letters every week. Long letters, full of stories about the city, the tall buildings, the crowded streets, the endless opportunities. Daniel read every word, holding on to them like treasures. He replied with his own letters, telling her about the town, about his studies, about how much he missed her. Sometimes they spoke on the phone. Anna's voice was full of excitement, always rushing with new things to share. Daniel listened, happy for her, though deep inside, he sometimes felt left behind. And then, slowly, the letters stopped coming as often. The phone calls became shorter. Sometimes Anna didn't reply for weeks. Daniel told himself, "She's just busy. The city must be overwhelming. She hasn't forgotten." But as months turned into years, doubt began to creep in. In the city, Anna met new people. She was surrounded by classmates who admired her confidence, her intelligence, her charm. One of them was Michael, a tall, ambitious young man with a sharp mind and a smile that seemed to win everyone over. He noticed Anna right away. "You don't belong to a small town," he told her once. "You're meant for bigger things. You're meant for the world." Anna laughed, but his words stirred something in her heart. She missed Daniel, but Michael was here, right beside her. He understood the city, the competition, the endless chase for success. Back in the town, Daniel noticed the difference in her letters. They became shorter, less personal. She stopped writing about her feelings and wrote only about her achievements. One night, Daniel held her last letter in his hands. It was only a single page with a line at the end that said, "I'll try to write again soon." He whispered to himself. She promised. She promised she wouldn't forget. But the silence that followed was louder than any storm. Meanwhile, Daniel faced his own battles. Without Anna, he felt lost. His friends moved on with their lives. Some left the town, others built families. Daniel worked hard, studying late into the night to become a teacher. But loneliness hung over him like a cloud. One evening, as he was closing his books, his mother came into the room. "Daniel," she said softly, "you cannot live waiting for someone who may never return." Daniel looked at her with pain in his eyes. "But she promised, Mama. She promised in the rain." His mother sighed, brushing his hair like she did when he was a child. Promises are only as strong as the hearts that keep them. Her words stayed with him. And yet, Daniel refused to give up. Every day he walked to the old bridge, stood in the rain when storms came, and whispered, "I'm still here, Anna. I'm still waiting." And dear friend, if you are still listening now, it means this story has touched you too. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can always join us for more stories filled with love, hope, and lessons in English. Every subscriber helps us keep going, just like Daniel kept going, no matter the pain. Back in the city, Michael grew closer to Anna. He was kind, supportive, always encouraging her to chase her dreams. One evening, after a long day, Michael walked her home under his umbrella. The rain was pouring heavily. "Anna," he said gently, "you don't need to hold on to your past. Sometimes we must let go to move forward." Anna froze. The sound of rain triggered a memory. The night on the bridge, Daniel's trembling voice, her promise. She closed her eyes, feeling the pull of two worlds. One was safe, familiar, built on years of trust. The other was new, exciting, filled with endless possibilities. Her heart whispered Daniel's name, but her steps followed Michael's umbrella into the night. And so the storm grew stronger, not just in the skies, but in their hearts. Daniel waiting in the rain, holding on to hope. Anna torn between a promise and a new life. The question remained: would love and loyalty survive the distance? Or would the rain wash away the promise forever? Months turned into years. Daniel became a teacher in the town's small school. His days were filled with lessons, chalk on blackboards, and the laughter of children. But his nights belonged to silence and rain. Every time a storm came, he returned to the old bridge, standing under the pouring sky, remembering Anna's words. "I promise, Daniel, I'll never forget you." But Anna had changed. The city had shaped her into someone new, confident, independent, admired by many. Michael was always near her side. He was there when she succeeded, there when she failed, there when she felt lonely. Slowly, without meaning to, Anna began to depend on him. And Daniel's letters grew fewer. Not because he forgot, but because he no longer knew if they were reaching her. Some came back unopened. Others were left unanswered. The silence became unbearable. One summer, after nearly 3 years, Anna returned to the town. Word spread quickly and Daniel's heart raced. He rushed to the old cafe where she had promised to meet him. When she arrived, the whole town seemed to hold its breath. Anna looked different. Her hair was styled, her clothes modern, her confidence radiant. "Daniel," she said, smiling brightly. For a moment, everything felt the same. They laughed, they walked by the lake, they remembered their childhood games, but Daniel noticed something. A distance in her eyes, a hesitation in her smile. That night, as they stood once again on the bridge, rain began to fall. "Do you remember?" Daniel asked softly. Anna looked down at the water below. "Of course I remember," she whispered. But Daniel's heart felt uneasy. He knew something was hidden behind her words. A few days later, Daniel's fears were confirmed. He overheard Anna speaking with an old friend. "Michael has been so good to me," she said. "I don't know what I would have done without him." Daniel froze. The name hit him like lightning. Michael, the man who had slowly replaced him in her letters, in her life. That evening, when they met again, Daniel couldn't stay silent. "Anna," he said, his voice trembling, "do you love him?" Anna's eyes filled with tears. She turned away, unable to meet his gaze. "Daniel, things are different now. The city, my life, it changed me." Daniel felt the world crumble beneath his feet. His chest tightened, his hands shook. The rain poured harder, soaking them both. "So the promise, it meant nothing," he whispered. Anna sobbed, covering her face. "It meant everything then. But time changes people." Daniel's heart broke. The promise that had kept him alive through years of loneliness, the words he had held onto with every storm, were slipping away. The storm raged. Daniel stepped back, his eyes filled with pain. "I waited, Anna," he said, his voice cracking. "Through every storm I waited. I believed in you when no one else did. I built my life around your words, and now you tell me it was all just a memory?" Anna cried harder. "I didn't want to hurt you, Daniel. I couldn't keep holding on. I needed to move forward." Thunder roared. The bridge shook under the force of the wind. For a long moment, neither spoke. The rain was the only sound between them. Finally, Daniel whispered, "Then go. If that is your choice, go." Anna reached out, but Daniel stepped back. His heart, though broken, was still proud. He turned away, leaving her standing in the storm. That night, Daniel didn't return home. He stayed at the bridge until dawn, staring at the horizon through the rain. The promise was broken. The bond was shattered. And yet, deep inside, something still flickered. a spark that refused to die. They say the darkest hour comes before dawn. And for Daniel, this was the darkest storm of all. But life has a way of weaving unexpected turns. And though the promise was broken that night, fate had not finished its story. Because sometimes, even broken promises can lead us to the truth. After that stormy night on the bridge, Daniel's world felt emptier than ever. For days he walked through the town in silence, his heart heavy with the weight of broken promises. The children at school noticed his quietness. One little girl tugged at his sleeve one morning and asked, "Teacher Daniel, why are you so sad?" He forced a smile and answered gently, "Sometimes people make promises they cannot keep, but that doesn't mean we stop believing in kindness." Her innocent smile gave him strength. For the first time, he realized, his life could not remain chained to the past. In the city, Anna's success grew. She gained recognition, friends, and opportunities. Michael was by her side, but something inside her remained unsettled. Every time it rained, she thought of Daniel. She remembered his eyes filled with hope, the night he had promised to believe in himself. And though she had broken her part of the promise, the memory of Daniel's unwavering loyalty haunted her. She realized that success and admiration could never replace the simple, pure bond they once shared. One evening, standing by her apartment window as the rain poured outside, Anna whispered to herself, "I promised, and I broke it." But Daniel never broke his. Years later, Anna returned to the town again. She was older now, wiser, her heart carrying the weight of regret. She went straight to the school where Daniel taught. The children ran through the courtyard, laughing and calling his name. There he was, standing tall, chalk in hand, smiling with the same gentle kindness she had always known. For a moment, Anna couldn't move. Tears filled her eyes. Daniel had kept going, just as she once asked him to. He had become everything he dreamed of, without her. When their eyes finally met, silence hung between them. Then Daniel said softly, "Welcome back, Anna." She swallowed hard. "I don't expect forgiveness, Daniel. I only came to say, I am sorry. Sorry for breaking what we had. Sorry for breaking you." Daniel looked at her for a long moment, the weight of years passing between them. Then, with a calm voice, he said, "Anna, the promise we made in the rain, it wasn't wasted. It kept me strong. It taught me who I am. You may have broken it, but in a way, it still shaped my life. And for that, I thank you." Anna broke into tears, covering her face. Daniel gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "We cannot change the past, Anna, but we can learn from it. And sometimes the lesson is worth more than the promise itself." The rain began to fall again, lightly this time. Anna looked up at the sky and whispered, "Do you still believe in promises, Daniel?" He smiled, watching the children play. "I believe in people, Anna. Promises may break, but the strength we gain from them never fades." And with those words, Daniel walked back to his students, leaving Anna standing in the gentle rain. For the first time, she understood. The real promise was not between her and Daniel. It was the promise Daniel made to himself, to keep believing, to keep moving forward, no matter what storms came his way. And so, dear listener, the story of A Promise in the Rain comes to a close. It is a story of love, trust, heartbreak, and growth. A reminder that sometimes promises are not meant to be kept forever. Sometimes they exist only to teach us who we are and to guide us toward the person we are meant to become. Daniel's heart broke, but from those pieces he built a stronger self. Anna's regret stayed with her, but it taught her the value of loyalty. And the rain? It witnessed it all. The promise, the breaking, and the healing.